when you're dealing with the options calculator, you understand that the only thing that really matters here is what you're putting into it, number one. And if you're putting bad assumptions into this model, you're going to get a price that is not necessarily indicative of the real world price out there. But if you're putting assumptions into it that are reflective of what the market is currently telling you, you're probably going to get a price that is pretty close to where things are trading. Because most of the time, most of the people that are using option models out there are using some derivative of something like this. This is running Black-Scholes in this case. Actually, in this case, it might, if we're running American stock, we might be running Cox Ross Rubenstein on this, but it's running one or the other, or like a derivative of them. But either way, if people are out there, if professional traders are using something similar to this, just in a more sophisticated and faster way than what this is spitting out right now. They're using, you know, the style of option, the last price, the strike, the expiry, the timed expiration, implied vol, et cetera, et cetera. These are all the standard inputs into option models. Know that you can come to optionseducation.org and use this options calculator in the way that I've showed you. And you can look at the prices that you're seeing on the screen. You can move these inputs around. Take a look at what changes when you move them. Also make sure to keep in mind delta, gamma, theta, vega, and rho are dynamic just like all of the other pieces of the inputs are. And they're going to be commensurate with price. So when you're moving implied vol and you're thus moving price, don't be surprised when the Greeks of those options change as well. One thing that I didn't point out, I thought was kind of something that most people would understand. In this column are the calls for, in this case, the 585 strike. In this column are the puts for the 585 strike. So when you're doing something like moving the price up and down, you're going to see, if you're moving price up, you're going to see the calls go up in value and the puts are going to move down in value because of that function that we talked about before, put call parity, keeping those things in line as the stock moves up and down, and thus translates to call and put prices that are theoretically in line as far as put call parity is concerned for that strike. So